Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, what is Campbell's soup doing to Ohio's rivers?
Also, the crazy TikTok theory that says you should date someone that hates you.
All that and more on the way next. IKEA has unveiled a new item and it's taken the internet by storm. It's called, at least I'm not going to try to say the Swedish name because I don't even know. But 8772 Radio U. It's a meatball plate.
Oh.
IKEA, known for their furniture that you put together yourself and known for their Swedish meatballs at the restaurant and at the cafe.
Yes.
And now they have a plate that you can get at IKEA that specifically is meant really only to hold their meatballs.
This thing is 12 inches long for a plate, and in the middle is like this little trough that you just put meatballs in.
It only holds meatballs. They say that I think it's supposed to hold 12 meatballs.
Okay.
Which to me, first of all, is not enough. That's not enough meatballs.
Yeah, because these are not big. They're pretty small.
No. And this is I'm trying to work in my mind. Is this like a serving dish that if you have people over and you're having meatballs, that you would put this out? Because 12 meatballs would feed half a person.
I was going to say it's not enough.
Or is it meant for you to have it is this just for an individual and you need a set of 4 of these to feed your family, but then 12 meatball, it's just impractical. You don't have a table big enough for this.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but the internet loves it. And I do see the one positive of it, and that is the meatballs can't roll around. So you can easily just stab them with a fork or a toothpick and just pick them up.
Yep.
So I see that utility of it. But otherwise, it seems impractical. And it's one of those things for your kitchen that you're not supposed to get because it only serves one purpose.
It only serves one purpose. And also, I will say, this plate is rather large, in my opinion. So a lot of kitchens lack storage.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I know for me, and there's nowhere I would put this in my kitchen. I don't have a spot for it.
Yeah. And are they even stackable?
That's a good question. I don't know.
How would you store this if they're not stackable? IKEA is supposed to be, everything kind of either serves another purpose or, it's storage or it's easily foldable away. And this really, none of that applies to this. This has one purpose. And it's big and bulky and would take up a lot of space.
Yeah, I think this is definitely, it's a novelty type of thing. If you love IKEA, if you love meatballs, I could see yourself getting something like this. But other than that, it's not for practical use.
But it does make me want to get some IKEA meatballs, though.
I know. I always want those.
We just talked, it was a week ago, we were talking about the Swedish meatball rolling contest.
Yep.
In whatever Scandia, Minnesota. And now we're talking IKEA meatballs. I think the universe is telling us something. We need some IKEA meatballs.
Trip to IKEA.
Yeah. We should definitely do that. And I get free coffee there, I think. Still, I don't know if they canceled that. I haven't been to IKEA in a long time. Do you suffer from travel dysmorphia?
What's that?
It's the feeling that you haven't seen enough of the world or traveled enough compared to everybody else.
I'm sorry, I don't.
You have been to Zambia.
Yeah.
Most people haven't been there, but apparently 70% of Americans experience travel dysmorphia.
It makes sense. I know a large majority of Americans have never been out of the United States.
Yeah.
Some have never been out of their own state.
I know. If you haven't changed time zones at all in your life, that's pretty... I'm sorry, you should feel travel dysmorphia. Get out, see some things.
Yeah, go on.
Change your perspectives.
Go on a road trip. I do feel like there's a lot, and I say this all the time, a lot to experience in your own state. But America has so much to see and such a wide variety of different locations you can go to. Like every type of place. It's got desert, it's got beach, it's got mountains, So there's a lot to offer here.
Yeah.
So definitely take advantage of living in a country like this where there's all these amazing roads that you can travel to places pretty easily. And also all these different types of places you can see.
Yeah. I don't know why now we're turning travel dysmorphia into shaming people that haven't left their area. And this is not a knock on your area unless it's Arizona. I'm definitely knocking it. But it doesn't mean that your state doesn't have a lot of fun. You can spend a lot of time in your own state, in your own backyard, finding a lot of fun things to do. But there's also different things to do that you can't do in your state that you have to go other places to do. And so you should definitely do some of those. But let's get back to the actual issue here, which is not people that aren't traveling. It's people that feel like they can't travel enough to keep up with everybody else.
Oh.
This is travel dysmorphia, where you want to travel more maybe than you do, but because you feel like everybody else is traveling and you can't as much.
Yeah,
you're feeling left out.
This is the comparison game. You see your friends on Instagram going to Greece and Italy and England or wherever, and you're like, oh, I wish I could do that. Or, maybe even just across the United States, and you're like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Traveling is not cheap. So, it's not easy to afford to be able to plan big trips like that. But I would just say, don't compare. Don't look at what other people do and, start thinking that your life is lame or something just because you can't do the same thing as them. What you see on social media is only like a tiny portion of somebody's life.
Yeah, of course, if somebody does something cool and they go to another country and it looks really pretty or they eat really good food, of course you're going to see that.
Yeah, of course they're going to post about that.
But there's a lot of other people that are doing that are doing boring things and not posting about it.
Right.
So that's not even boring, but just less interesting things.
Just routine.
Yeah, right. So you don't have to feel alone. I would say though, just don't do trips because everybody
other people do them. Yeah.
Do trips that make you happy. I want to travel more, but it's not because I'm jealous of, well, I guess I'm jealous, but it's not in comparison of I need to keep up with whoever,
right,
or I saw this person go to this place and so I want to go. It's just I like traveling.
Yeah.
It is one of the things that makes me happier than any, if you can give me a day where I can do whatever I want, traveling would probably be a part of it because it is fun to see different things. There's so much of the country and the world that I haven't seen yet, and I want to do that. But it's not because other people, because I'm, seeing other people do it.
No, yeah, it shouldn't be a competitive thing. Like, oh, they went there, so I have to go there.
I mean, at least me, I'm saying this as a competitive person. I would love to be the person that's traveled the most in the entire world, but that's not why I want to travel.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. And also, like, it's not sustainable to keep up with that, to be like, every time I see somebody do that, I have to do it too.
Unless you literally just give up everything and become a travel influencer, but you got to get started doing that. And trust me, that's hard.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not an easy thing.
If you're a single guy looking for the perfect girl for you, here's some free advice. Try to find one that hates men. 8772 RadioU. This is a controversial theory that's gone around. Usually all the theories about dating seem to be women, at least that we usually cover here, where women come up with this theory of what they need to do.
Either that or it's like some type of study or, a group of people have come out with something.
But this is advice for the guys. James White seems to be the originator of this on TikTok, where he says, if you're a guy who can find a girl who hates all men, that's what you need to do. At least she says she hates all men.
Okay.
Why would you want this? It seems very counterintuitive.
It does.
But
admittedly.
The explanation that he says is if you can find a girl who says she hates all men and get her to like you, then he says that girls like that want to find one man that they love, that they can take care of, that they cherish. And so once she kind of loves you and dislikes all other men, she's going to treasure you even more.
Okay.
Is what is his theory.
Has it worked out for him? Did he do this?
You know what? I have no idea. I don't have a lot of background on James White, so I'm not sure.
I'm confused why James White is pushing this, other than like if it had been successful for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Another person on TikTok also said that women who criticize all men could be searching for the rare not all men type of guy.
Oh.
So if you can find a way to make yourself stand out as not one of all the men that she hates could be another aspect of this.
Yeah. It's an interesting theory, I will say, but I don't think I'm in the habit of trying to date anyone that says they hate an entire gender, even if they don't mean it. Somebody that just says that or like announces that, let's say on social media or to their friends, because how else would you know that she hates all men unless she's saying it?
Right, of course.
But if somebody has that type of attitude, I don't think they're really great to be around. And so I don't know if I would really want to date somebody that's saying that.
I can see both sides of it, although I definitely wouldn't. This is not something that I necessarily endorse. The one side that I can see too is if you are a guy, the positive would be you're a guy, you find a gal that says she hates all men, and somehow you get her to believe that you're different and she likes you. What do you also have? A lot of security, because she hates everybody else. She hates all of your competition.
Right, which is James's theory.
Yeah,
that you're set for life because she won't go
well, he
find
also
another
saying
man.
that she's going to treat you really well because she really treasures you, and I don't know if that is connecting the dots that actually that actually translates. But here's the problem. In my experience, if a gal is out there saying she hates all men, it's because she's been through, probably she recently went through a relationship that didn't end well.
Yeah.
And a lot of times she's went through many relationships that haven't gone well.
Right.
And maybe that's because all the men suck. But once it happens over and over again, maybe it also could be sometimes that she's doing something wrong where the guys get tired of being with her because she's frustrating. So it can be a sign that maybe this is somebody you don't want to be with despite what she's saying. That could be a sign of other things that you don't want to deal with personally.
Well, for me as a woman, I'm thinking of it in reverse. I'm thinking of like, would I want to date a man that says he hates all women, but I'm like the one exception to that? No, because I don't want somebody that has that type of antagonistic look to an entire gender, because they might be always skeptical of you because they'll be like, anytime you do something wrong, it'll point them back to,
see, that's because you're a man.
This is why I hate all women, because this is what you do, So I just think it leads to some very toxic thinking to be like, to just categorize all of a gender and be like, they're all bad.
You're a man. You just will never understand.
Exactly. That's a very difficult person to be around.
Yeah. But, I mean, maybe you could be such a good man that you make her forget all about it.
Maybe.
Allie and I get to choose our first and worst choices from whatever the topic is of the day. And then you decide which of us made better choices and which picks we missed. Today, as we head into fall, I hear that it's coming eventually one day. We're picking the best and worst things about fall. I get the first pick. And I think the first pick for first and worst of fall is obvious.
Okay.
The best thing about fall is football.
Oh.
It's obviously football. It's what makes this, like, we have something to look forward to every single week. College, NFL. Now it's like 4 days a week you have something to look forward to because there's football. And it's the most watched thing in the world, or at least in the United States. And it feels different in fall. Football is the best thing about fall. The worst thing about fall, this is maybe a little off the board, but I was kind of struggling. I think it's Halloween decorations.
Oh.
But not any Halloween decorations. The scary ones.
Oh.
Fun Halloween decorations are fun. Scary Halloween decorations when I'm walking down the street and something starts laughing at me, or the Grim Reaper pops out of the hole, that is no fun. That's not fun. I don't like that. I don't enjoy that. I like the Oogie Boogie Man from Nightmare Before Christmas. I like fun Halloween decorations. I don't like scary ones. That's my first and worst.
Okay. For my first, I'm going with, I love the changing of the leaves. When you're starting to see the change of the season. As somebody that grew up without that, in a place where that you don't see that. You don't see the beautiful red and the yellow and the brown as it's slowly changing. And I've also talked to people who are like from Texas and areas of the country where they don't get that season change. It is so special. We take it for granted to have that beautiful changing of the leaves and all of that season change. Not everybody gets that. So don't take that for granted. So I love that. And I was obsessed with it when I first moved back to the U.S. I still am. And then for worst, I'm going with the time change. That is so depressing to go swiftly from like, we're having a gradual, or it's getting darker, but then it's like, bam, bam, it's dark at 5 p.m. immediately. It's so depressing. A lot of people deal with seasonal depression because of that. And so I feel like the time change, it just sucks a lot of the life out of the funness of fall because it's so immediate when it just changes like that.
But you do get to extra hours sleep, though.
Yeah, but I
That
feel like
one
this.
day.
I feel like I love the sunshine, and so for me, I don't know because that wears off real quick for me. Maybe it lasts a couple days, and so I don't know if that can overcome how you have months of living in what feels like eternal darkness.
8772 Radio U. First to worst things of fall. My first is football. My worst is scary Halloween decorations. Allie, your picks.
My first are the changing of the leaves in the season, and then my worst is the time change.
8772 Radio U. Let us know who made the better picks for the first and worst things of fall and which picks we missed. What are your favorite and least favorite things about fall? We'll see what people are saying. Okay, and your job now at 8772 Radio U is to let us know who picked better and which picks we missed. We'll start with Jocelyn, who says, I'm an apple cider fan, and I love how the brown butter chocolate chip cookie creamer from Coffee Mate comes out only in the fall. So those are my favorite things that I wait all year for.
Nice.
Good choices. Apple cider is always a fun part of fall.
Yeah, very solid choice there, Jocelyn. We heard from Susanna this morning. She says she's Team Allie today, and she gave us a hashtag. Hashtag football is overrated.
Okay, nobody's saying that here.
Yeah, I will say me and Hudson are both big football fans, but I do think football is one of those sports, even though it definitely is something in the fall, it expands a little past the fall, too.
Yeah, but think about how your fall would be ruined if there was no football.
Yeah, I mean, but I just think it's like fall and winter is kind of how I think of it.
Yeah, but then, either way. Julie says, I'm with you on both. Allie.
Aw, thank you, Julie. We heard from Philip this morning. He literally just sent us a picture of his house, which I think means he's voting against you because it's all Halloween decorations.
But they're not scary. They're fun inflatables.
So these are the ones that you like?
Yeah, those are fine. I said, I'm with you, Philip. Those are nice.
Oh, okay.
I would love to walk by his house. What I don't like is when you're walking through the grocery store and some clown starts mocking you.
That happens at grocery stores?
Yeah,
What
they have the
grocery stores
decorations go out and they're like animatronic.
Oh, okay.
And they start cackling.
I haven't been to a grocery store that does that. I guess Walmart, do they have those
Yeah.
there? Okay.
You try to get some hardware at Lowe's. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm not going to Lowe's too often, so I'm not experiencing those same things. We heard from William this morning. He said that he's going with me because I guess he picked the same things.
Yeah, he says he likes fall weather and the change in trees. He says the worst part is bugs.
The bugs
Getting
of fall.
bitten too much.
Okay.
I feel like that's more of a summer problem.
Yeah.
Brian says, once again, Hudson has the best first and Allie has the best worst.
Oh, so he's, I guess, voting for both of us?
Yeah. That's a tie.
That's a tie, yeah. We heard from Chad. He said, this is tough. Both your best are my best, but I have to give this one to Allie by a small margin. I go to the mountains up past Williamsport, PA every fall, and it's beautiful there.
Oh, the Poconos?
Yeah, I was going to say, anytime you're near, like, let's say, like the Adirondack Mountains, or you're going to Gatlinburg or something, like that's truly when you experience how beautiful that change of the season is. And again, if you're in a part of the country where you don't have that, like I have a friend that lives in Texas and she came to visit us during the fall and she was like, you guys have no idea how much I've missed this fall weather and fall like changing of the colors and all of that.
So your best part of fall is something that many people don't even get to experience.
Because it's something we shouldn't take for granted. It's actually, you know, even though it's something we experience all the time here in Ohio, not everyone gets to.
Let's see. Julie says Menards has the creepy kind of Halloween decorations.
Haven't been to a Menards in years.
Yeah. Menards is overwhelming in many ways, and that just adds to it. We also heard from Shrew says, Allie gets my vote by default. I'm not a sports person. The scary decorations don't bother me. But he also says that we missed fall flavors for the best, and school resumes and buses make commutes worse for adults for worst.
That is a true comment there, because the commutes have gotten a little bit tough recently with school back in session.
I think, first of all, school, I think there's a lot of debate about our choices for some of these first of all, school being a fall thing, like it comes back so early now. It's in August.
I know,
it's summer.
It feels like summer. And honestly, some parts of football feel like they take place in the summer because it's been so hot.
Well, just because football takes place in other times, it's still the best part of fall.
Well,
then when we're talking about time change, winter is the one with the bad times. That's where the days get the shortest.
But we're still I don't think people realize winter doesn't start until much later than people realize.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and the time changes in November.
The shortest day of the year is the first day of winter.
Yeah, but I mean, like the time change when it's super drastic, immediate, like goes from it's a gradual, slow change, which makes sense. That should that, in my opinion, is how it should be. And it's like immediately, suddenly, somebody turned the lights off as soon as you leave work. That's what I don't like. It's so drastic.
If you're talking time change, though, daylight saving time, you get an extra hour of sleep.
But you only experience that for like a couple days. You have to deal with darkness for so long.
And that's winter's fault.
No, I get what you mean, but you have to have that time change day in November, which is so annoying. We need to get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Yeah, we should get rid of it.
Yeah.
Allie, you're you're much more into DC comics than Marvel.
I am.
So I want your opinion on this. 8772 Radio U. Vincent D'Onofrio, who actually is a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a way. He plays Wilson Fisk, a.k.a. Kingpin, in Daredevil. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he's probably never going to be in one of the Marvel movies because of contract stuff with Sony and the way that Disney and Sony interact, blah, blah, blah. Although never say never. But he actually wants to get involved in the DC universe.
Okay.
As one specific character. Vincent D'Onofrio wants to play Swamp Thing.
Ooh.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't hate it because, I mean, whoever plays Swamp Thing, it's just going to be, we need a good voice actor.
Yeah.
Really.
And he's got a good voice.
He does.
He's also, I guess I don't actually know how big he is, but I mean, in Kingpin, or in Daredevil as Kingpin, he seems very big and intimidating and a large man. I feel like the Swamp Thing has to be very large.
Yes.
And intimidating.
Yes.
He recently, this just happened like in the last week, somebody tweeted, should Vincent D'Onofrio play Swamp Thing in James Gunn's DCU? And if Vincent D'Onofrio himself responded on Twitter, yes, he should.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. I love when celebrities get involved with that, like dream casting stuff.
Kind of openly campaigned. He said in the past, too, that he has specifically mentioned that he would like to play Swamp Thing in other aspects as well. So this is something that he's trying to will into happening. And so now we just need James Gunn and DC Studios to make it happen.
Wow, I like it. Make it happen. Make it right. I love it. So I don't know exactly what DC's plans are with the Swamp Thing. Mm-hmm. I know they've got Supergirl coming out next year. They've got a plan for the other Superman movie, Man of Tomorrow. That's a song by, Fit for a King that we play here at Radio U. Man of Tomorrow. And then they also have the plan for the second Batman movie. But
right.
Other than that, I haven't really heard much of their plan. So I didn't know Swamp Thing was in the future, but I'm okay with it.
In early 2023, so this is going back a ways, James Gunn announced that DC Studios was planning a Swamp Thing film. And get this, James Mangold is directing it. So that was announced in 2023. Okay. We're now in 2025. They've made virtually, seems like no progress on that. It's definitely been a back burner thing. I think Swamp Thing, from my knowledge of it, would be the perfect kind of thing that doesn't have to connect to anything.
100%.
It does not. You don't need Swamp Thing and Superman to ever see each other or even know that each other exist in the movies. So we don't need to start building a universe. This can be its own thing. And it could be very exciting. I think Swamp Thing is a very intriguing character. So I would love, and James Mangold, a great director. He did Logan, one of the best superhero movies of all time. So this needs to happen sooner than later. I
agree with you. And DC actually had a live-action Swamp Thing show. They only did one season of it, which was really...
Wasn't that on a really weird, it wasn't a streaming service that anybody had?
Yeah, it was like a DC streaming service before they packaged in with HBO. But I remember watching it, and it was really good. And I think it is available on HBO Max now. But it ended up getting canceled because no one watched it. Yeah. But it was
because
really
that whole streaming service got canceled.
Yeah, the whole streaming service got shut down because it just wasn't feasible to have that. But it was very well done, and there is a way to do a good Swamp Thing story in live action. He is, as you pointed out, a very intimidating character. So yes, I like the idea of don't tie it to anything else, make it its own thing. I actually really like the idea of doing just standalone projects from DC.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a very successful route that they can take, as we saw with the Batman and the first Joker movie. So I think that's exactly what they should do.
I hope this happens for everybody, for us, for Vincent D'Onofrio, for everybody. We're in the midst of Fired or Hired, where you can chime in with your advice at 877-2-RADIO-U. This one is so good and so short, I just want to read the whole message again.
Yeah, you should.
We have a worker who says, I sit near a coworker who constantly talks to himself like a live podcast no one subscribed to all throughout the workday, sitting there saying things like, time to answer some emails. Oops, dropped my pen again. Or the one that gets me the most. Let's see what fresh chaos awaits. Who actually says that to themselves?
Right. Who says that?
He's not being rude, and he's actually kind of funny, clearly. But after the internal monologue out loud all day long, every day, I'm getting close to snapping. It's like working next to a sitcom character. I haven't said anything because it feels petty, but is it? What should I do? Allie, hopefully we're getting some good answers here in the text of what to do.
We heard from William, and he goes, does this coworker do streaming by chance? I don't think so. It sounds
Who would
like
watch that?
Right. It sounds like a regular office environment, which is why it's out of place. But that's a good inkling there, I suppose.
Nathan has good advice. He just says, put on Radio U instead of listening to that guy.
Yeah, get some headphones. That was going to be one of my answers, was like, if your office allows it, maybe put some earbuds in. We heard from Susanna. She says they should do what Hudson's coworker did back in the day and tell him to become a radio DJ.
Allie, evaluate that. Do I talk to myself all throughout the rest of the day?
I don't hear you, but I'm also like in one of the furthest spots in the office from you.
I get all my talking out in the morning and then like during the show, and then I want to shut up.
I was going to say, we talk about this all the time, and I don't think people realize this. Like, we're both, I would consider, more introverted than extroverted. And when we're done with the show, we're exhausted. Like, mentally exhausted.
It takes something out of you. Now, if I didn't have a show at all, who knows what I'd be like sitting at all
You'd
alone.
have to get it out somehow.
Yeah, but Heath has good advice too. Heath says, sounds like he needs to text WIN to 877-2-RADIO-U for a chance to win some Beats headphones.
I love that everybody's thinking about the headphones. Bryn mentioned the headphones as well. She says, wear headphones or suggest he start a podcast and split profits since it was your idea. Don't get annoyed. Cash in.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Then it could be a thing. Like, maybe you suggest to this person, like, hey, you have a lot of great comments. Maybe you should do this or whatever. Because this person, as we pointed out, may just not have an outlet where they can share their thoughts. And they may be in need of that.
I think a real answer to this, because I'm going to assume you just can't wear headphones at this job. I'm going to guess, or else this feels like it wouldn't be a problem, right? So my real advice would be start reacting to everything he says.
Ooh.
Because he's probably doing this and not realizing that anybody's really hearing him or paying attention. So if he goes, time to answer some emails, and you go, what was that? And you just answer him every time.
Oh.
He may become self-conscious of it. And if he can control it, then he'll probably stop because he'll be a little embarrassed.
That is a good answer. But it could be risky.
Yeah, it could be risky.
It could be risky because this person may, actually like that you're hearing them and talking to them.
On,
yeah, they'll be like, oh, I'll say more stuff so you talk to me or whatever. Because it could be an attention thing. They need some attention or whatever.
I did think of that too. Yeah. They might just want somebody to pay attention.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think.
But I still think they should try what you said.
Yeah, try it out.
I think
see what happens.
That might work.
And other than that, definitely, I endorse headphones at work.
Yes.
Basically, no matter, unless it's dangerous. I think that's usually the best way to go.
Yeah.
It's Memphis May Fire. You can email mornings@radiou.com with your fired or hired situations. We'll be happy to help. Allie, it's our favorite part of the week. A Jake Paul fight update.
Oh my goodness. It really has become a weekly thing, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it. 8772 Radio U. The last we heard from Jake Paul is he was going to be having a fight, I think in November. Yeah, November 14th on Netflix against an actual real boxer that's not even close to retirement. So that's a step up in the first place. That boxer is lightweight champion Gervonta Tank Davis. The fight was supposed to be in Georgia. Mm-hmm. The update is Georgia will not host the fight. They're more or less refusing to host the fight in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
Because the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission basically said that they don't want to have anything to do with this, particularly because of the massive weight difference.
Yeah.
Where trying to sanction or actually have a legal fight with such different weight classes would be difficult for them. And so they have nothing to do with it. Now, there is good news though. The fight's still happening.
Okay.
It's now been moved to Miami, where it will take place at the Kaseya Center. Still on November 14th, still on Netflix.
Honestly, this feels very accurate for Florida. Florida's like, Georgia won't sanction it. We'll sanction anything.
Yeah.
Bring it down here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. If nowhere else will let you do it,
Florida will
let you do it. It is not clear, though, and I do not like this. I do not like this one bit, but it's not clear at this moment if the fight is going to be a sanctioned fight or if it's going to be an
exhibition?
An exhibition match.
Oh, boo.
Because if it's an exhibition...
It doesn't count.
Right. We can't take it seriously.
Nope.
And honestly, if you're having a fight that some states are refusing to host in the first place, that also makes me skeptical that I can really trust this fight. And I kind of wanted to, just because Gervonta Davis is actually a real, current fighter.
Yeah.
So I kind of want it to be something worth paying attention to, but also it is a massive weight difference.
Yeah, massive weight difference with all of this drama around it. It's just not a good look for Jake Paul, who already has to fight off the rumors of these fights are fixed and they're rigged or whatever. And he's never going to lose because they have it in their contract that he's never supposed to lose. Mm-hmm. All of those allegations, those aren't going to go away when it's, something with this type of drama going on behind the scenes because, people, if it's an exhibition, people again are just going to be like, yep, this is what we saw coming. Yeah. It's Jake Paul doing the Jake Paul thing.
If it does wind up being an exhibition, it feels such a repeat of Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul.
Yes.
Which was an exhibition that also took place in Florida. And that is one of the shadiest, the fact that people were allowed to bet on that fight.
Yeah.
Really feels wrong because it felt like it was a guaranteed draw from the beginning.
Yeah. They should have gotten their bets credited back to them because that should have been illegal.
Yeah. And that's kind of what it feels like this might wind up being as well, unfortunately. Yep.
So it's not helping you out, Jake Paul.
No.
I know you want people to take you seriously, but they're not going to with this type of stuff.
But hey, get that payday. Get that payday. You and Gervonta Davis. Meanwhile, in Ohio, Campbell's Soup has admitted to dumping waste to violating the Clean Water Act in Ohio. They admitted to dumping waste, things that shouldn't be, into Ohio rivers, and they admitted to doing this 5,400 times.
Over 5,000 times?
Yeah. This 5,400 times took place between April of 2018 and December 2024 at its canning factory in Napoleon, Ohio.
5,000 times in that span of time?
Yeah.
That's less than 10 years.
It's once a day, probably. They were dumping something at least. Here's my question, first of all, before we get into more details. Why were they keeping track of this?
Right. They're like...
And we violated the Clean Water Act this day, and this day, and this day we did it twice. Who's doing that? Who at the Campbell's Soup Company? You're a fool. You're a horrible criminal.
Well, they said it was at least 5,400 times, so they may not have kept track that well.
Yeah,
they were like,
not.
This is an estimation. We think this.
Of how many times we dumped. And so I don't know what they actually dumped into the river. I can only imagine soup. Right?
maybe
chicken broth,
something,
cream of mushroom. Tomato bisque.
Okay, here's what it says. It says the lawsuit filed back in March of 2024 is alleging violations of dumping wastewater containing phosphorus, ammonia, E. coli, oil, grease, suspended solids, and other harmful pollutants into the Maumee River.
So, hold up. Why is there ammonia in soup?
Yeah,
and a soup
and
factory?
E. coli? Like, what do you have this
Well, that's
for?
the contaminated soup. You have to dump that out somewhere.
But why is it even in the factory?
Also, I'm going to reverse this because this is probably exactly what the Clean Water Act is meant to prevent. But, I mean, that doesn't even sound like half of the worst things in the Ohio rivers.
Yeah, I mean, the Ohio rivers look rough.
Yeah.
So I'm not shocked to hear that somebody's
But maybe it's all Campbell's fault.
Right, but
I mean, they did
this
it 5,400
This
times.
is only one river.
Yeah.
But the rivers do look real bad, and the lake's not much better. But it does say that this river is connected to Lake Erie, which, if you've been to Lake Erie, it can be rough in some parts. So yeah, not a great look for Campbell's soup over here.
No, yeah, it's pretty bad. I wonder though, I mean, if they were dumping, you have to assume that there was at least some soup dumped in this situation.
Probably.
And maybe there's like birds or fish or turtles that were depending on that. Like that was how they just ate every day.
They were eating E. coli bacteria?
Just waited outside of the Campbell's factory and they're like, I wonder what we're getting today.
Yay, suspended solids.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
Right. It's Fatty Wednesday.
E. coli.
Yeah. And now where will they turn? What will they do?
Hopefully to just regular, natural sources of food for birds. You know, like worms and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not suspended solids, whatever that means.
And
like,
ammonia.
what does that even mean? Yeah, ammonia. Also, is that how you say that river name? I've never actually said that before.
I don't know. I thought it was more like Mommy.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe like Mama.
If you know, you know.
Who's hungry? Who's hungry now? I saw the future yesterday.
You did?
Yeah, I did. 8772 Radio U. The future involves $799 Meta Ray-Ban display glasses.
Oh.
This is the future.
You saw okay, I get what you mean now.
It's only a matter of time till we all are wearing these. Mark Zuckerberg unveiled a collection of new products from Meta that are display glasses so these are glasses that have a built-in display, and then also they come with something that goes on your wrist and you can control what you see on the display with hand gestures. And they're also Ray-Bans, so hello, luxury, fancy.
Do I think luxury would have Ray-Bans? I don't know.
Hello, if that's too expensive for you, there's also a step down. You could get the Oakley Vanguard glasses instead. Those are only $499.
Are those like the wraparound glasses?
Yeah,
oh my goodness, I see
like
many people wearing those.
Remember, I think it was last week, we were talking about the guy in Canada that was drunk at 9 a.m.
with the Barbie Jeep
driving a pink. But he was wearing those exact same glasses. I don't think they were because they hadn't been unveiled yet, but I don't think they were the $499 Oakley Vanguard displays.
Probably not. But yeah, that design of sunglasses is big right now. So, but this is, in my opinion, I've never understood any of the glass thing where like the glasses, you know, whether it was the Snapchat version of these, the Google version of these. I do not get wanting to integrate like real life reality with this type of stuff. All it makes me think of is the movie WALL-E. And I'm like, I don't want that as my future. I don't want it. I don't want to be sitting in a power wheeled car, just like completely focused on a screen that I'm, absent from reality.
But listen to this though. Mark Zuckerberg says that with these new glasses, the $799 Meta Ray-Ban display glasses, that you could do tasks such as watch videos, to see and respond to text messages, and it won't block your view, and it disappears when it's not being used.
Interesting. Have you ever heard of a cell phone, Mark Zuckerberg?
And what are we doing with our cell phones? Holding them in front of our face 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
How about if they were just mounted to your ears?
No.
For $799.
No, we don't need that. Our cell phones are already expensive enough. Some of the cell
Exactly, so you should replace it with this.
No.
So you never have to put it down.
Can it make calls? Did he say that?
I don't know, because it does say that they have the audio-only Ray-Ban Meta Smart glasses where you would, I guess, be able to hear stuff or direct them through talking. So I would think if you could do that, then you would be able to make calls. Yeah. But it's basically Bluetooth.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'd have to probably be attached to your phone.
Display. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows the other things that could be possible with these?
I guess.
Who knows what other amazing things, such as answering text messages,
Are you really
could be
thinking of getting one of these?
I don't know. $799 is a lot.
That's a lot of money.
I literally spent $5 on my phone. So, and once it gets to that price point, maybe I would consider it.
When it shows up at Goodwill.
Yeah, if Boost Mobile offers me a deal to get these for $500 or for $5 in 2045, maybe I'll start to think about it. No, these are ridiculous. They look stupid.
They look so dumb. They don't look like regular Ray-Bans. No one would be convinced that these are regular sunglasses.
They look much dumber, and it's too expensive. And I'm joking, but I do agree with you. We don't need this. Nobody needs this.
Yeah, all of the augmented reality stuff, I don't get it.
If you saw somebody wearing these and talking to their glasses, red flag.
Yeah.
You don't want to be friends with that person.
Yeah. Yesterday, I got to go to a Columbus Clippers game, Hudson.
Hey, that's fun. Was it Dime a Dog night?
It wasn't.
Oh, bummer.
But the game I got to go to was free because, somebody else took me. And
so you could spend that money on hot dogs.
Yeah, and the hot dogs were free.
They were free?
Well, this was for
was it a group? Or
a group outing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the food is all there for you and everything.
I love that.
It was a great experience. But, the game, I'm obviously a huge baseball fan.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy going for the baseball. But the game, some might say, if they were there or maybe looked at the box score, it would be a pretty boring game. Because the only scoring that happened in the game happened in the bottom of the fourth. It was 3 runs on 2 back-to-back home runs. So for that short period of time, a very exciting game.
Yeah.
For the rest of it, probably pretty boring.
Unless you love pitching.
Unless you love pitching.
Watching pitching.
Exactly. So you might say all the action happened in one inning.
Yeah.
Because the other aspects of baseball, I would consider maybe some of the underrated or under the radar type of stuff, like good pitching. And so we take that maybe for granted that a pitcher can go the rest of the way and shut the other team out.
Yeah.
Or shut the Clippers out as well. That's actually harder to do than you might realize to have that type of good pitching. And so on the one hand, while I hear people who say, well, it was boring because all the action happened in one inning. For me, I'm like, well, that was a great game because after that, the pitchers showed out. They showed out and they showed up to shut everything else down. And so we miss some of the under the radar stuff that actually makes a game work and and gets a win for a team. That's a good thing. And so, sometimes the flashy things, they can get our attention and it can be fun to have those big, big moments, but we can't take for granted the under the radar stuff. Because, when you get in routine and you're in the process and you're in the waiting, sometimes you can get a little discouraged because those flashy home runs aren't happening. But God is still working in those moments that seem just like a dredge. You're just getting through these innings.
Yeah.
But God's still doing something amazing in our lives, even in the time when we're waiting. There's purpose to that. There's purpose in the routine.
Yeah. And something, too, that it makes me think of is we all feel a lot of pressure to accomplish something with our lives, to really make something, whether it's to be famous, to get big on social media, or just to be able to have the money to go out and do all the things that you want to do.
Right.
And once, for many people, they hit a spot in their life where they're like, well, that's not going to happen. And when you hit that spot, then you're like, well, now what? What am I even around for?
What do I do next?
But what we lose sight of, too, is that the big flashy stuff, the big flashy accomplishments aren't the only accomplishments that matter in life.
Yeah.
Having a family, like being a good friend to people, it's kind of mundane. It doesn't sound as exciting, but that's still accomplishing something and really making a difference in the world. And that is what God calls many of us to do as well.
Yeah, so don't take advantage of the under the radar moments. It may seem boring at the time, but it's actually super meaningful, and God is doing something special in those moments. So don't take those for granted.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to find out more about this, the best thing to do is to start talking to God and let him talk to you. Say, Jesus, help me with these moments where I get a little restless or get a little bored or whatever it is. Help me to focus through these and know that you're still doing something with my life, and let him talk to you and show you what he's doing. You can also go to RadioU.com/free gift.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.